It means a lot because that's where my parents met. So for me, it's like without that place, I wouldn't exist.
For me, Brixton's home. It's where I've lived all my life.
Brixton means to me a place of political awakening.
Brixton means everything to me. It means family, it means culture, it means colour.
So a lot of people are talking about gentrification within London at the moment, and particularly in Brixton. My family decided that they didn't mind living in a rougher area for a bigger house. And I suppose that's where it starts, really.
I came to Brixton in 1954, the 20th of November. It wasn't that good. Brixton was a slum in those days.
In the past, people definitely saw Brixton as a rough area. No one really wanted to go there unless you lived there.
There was a stigma about Brixton now.
It had notoriety for criminality and drug dealing and violence and different things like that.
Brixton just wasn't a place to talk about or even go near.
In many aspects, gentrification has helped Brixton. It's made Brixton to be a more welcoming place.
People have like a love affair with Brixton. They think it's very trendy, very cool.
It wasn't the same as it is now, where there's like a lot of coffee shops and a lot of places that encourage people to come here.
It's obvious how they see Brixton now, you know, we've got a Premier Inn.
Brixton doesn't go to sleep. Brixton's just lively now, doesn't stop, always partying. Everyone talks about Brixton now.
I think people see Brixton as a exciting culture spot. It's just all a cover. It's like a skin on Brixton. It's not the real Brixton.
How I remember Brixton Market, I would recognise almost every stallholder. And it was very basic needs. I mean, obviously there was the West Indian food, obviously there was the fish and so on.
I think I bought my first hamster from there. That's the kind of place it was. It had nothing in there, like some random pet shop and like a record shop, and used to have like a graffiti shop in there, I think. And now it's probably got 5 of the sort of best restaurants in South London in there that are attracting a big crowd of people and a lot of noise. I don't know if that's a bad thing, as long as the money goes back to the community somehow. Like.
I don't think we'd be here in this shop now if it weren't for the community. When we had to move recently, we did a crowdfunder, and the fact that so many people came out and supported us, if we didn't have that support, that community respect, that community history, I don't think we'd be here today now. The shop first opened on Cold Harbour Lane. It's a very, very small shop. I think we wanted to make a social impact, a community impact. Growing up here, the community is everything. I think it's, I think you have to kind of establish a bond with the people around you. The community will look after you if you look after the community.
If we was told that we had to leave, it'll be very devastating for us. You know, we know that there's a lot of gentrification in and around Brixton. This is a prime location where they want to develop. And what I'm kind of saying to them is, don't see it for pound signs, see it for what we're doing. Brixton Soup Kitchen is a well-needed service.
Gentrification is something that I think we as people hear a lot, but we don't understand the true meaning of that word. We just think it means like, oh, you know, rich people are coming in and they're just taking all the shops and we have to move out. And although that is an aspect of it, gentrification to me is places losing their identity.
There's nothing good about gentrification because you're moving out the people that have been here, that are based here for how many years.
The people that have been here from 20 years plus are struggling because with new rents, it's just crazy, astronomically high for the space that you've inhabited for so long. They come in, plonk their particular type of business and only want that particular type of person frequenting their business. I don't think there's enough like integrating with your locals. It's not rocket science. You want the local people to love you, then you need to get out and show some love to the local people. It's not that hard.
On one hand, it brings business into an area that people wouldn't have gone to, but at the same time I don't think it brings business and money into the community of the area.
If you think about the council and the governments, they're shutting down all these places, and they're really thinking about the way that they could take these shops from local people who have had them how many years, 80+ years, and renew leases on Brixton Atlantic Road. All of them shops, the only way how they could renew the leases and the contracts is by closing it down for renovation. So when they come back, yeah, you could have your space back, but it's going to be how much more expensive.
You can't control the popularity of London. You can't control where the money comes from.
I'm hoping, because Brixton's Brixton, it's just got that magic that somehow we're able to pull off and it creates some sort of hybrid community and everyone gets along, but yeah, that's unlikely, but that's where I'm putting my hopes.
I just hope that people from Brixton are involved in that change.
I think the future of Brixton will probably look a lot like Shoreditch if things continue to go at the pace that they're moving at, which is a shame because there's a lot of like original Caribbean shops, Portuguese cafes that are like just about holding on.
It's not going to be the Brixton that David Bowie grew up in, put it that way.